So why did we take buys here? Because if you guys observe, here we had a level of resistance. Okay, price was resisting at this area, then we had that breakout, the initial breakout, then after some time price came above the level the second time, so that's why I took my buys. Here we see that price formed a new high, and on top of that it has also carried liquidity. So if you want to hold, I usually close the first 3 positions, then I just hold until I see price change momentum. So you see that underneath this level price is bearish. Okay, so if you guys observe, price made a new lower low in the market over here, but that's not the case because price eventually made a continuation. So if price goes underneath that level one more time, we shall close our positions and then see what price. Okay, so if you guys see, price indeed ended up closing underneath, and then we came back the second time. That's what would have been the exit point, but so far you see that we have made profit. So yeah, so we shall go again.
Hello.
But we shall move.
Notice that you are still considering. We fully understand applying for a
Okay, so here price is bullish because we are seeing price making higher highs until we had a breakout of this area of support. So underneath that level, price is telling us it wants to sell, so we shall sell until price goes above this area. I don't want to go above that area, and then I shall be holding until where we saw the last momentum fade, so around that area there. So we see that price hits our TP, and then after some time we see that price again sells off aggressively, and we see that we had this massive sell off. Okay, so get another area over here. We know that underneath this area price is what? Bearish. So here we should have waited for maybe like, now the only thing that I'm missing this app is simply the session timing. That's the only thing that I'm missing, because if I knew the session timing I would probably, but anyways, the session timing is given. For instance, here we see that it's around 15, so we shall always wait for 15 so that we can take our entries. So we see that's in 20 to just waiting for 15 hours. Know that above this level price has shown us bullish momentum. If you guys observe, above that level price is showing us bullish momentum. We shall wait for 15 and we shall see if we can get any entries, but so far price is consolidating. And also you know that underneath this level price is bearish, so enter 13 and price is underneath the second zone. So I'll put my buys here, my sells, and then I'll be holding until we reach this next area of support. So 15 came in, got stopped out, it's okay, and then for some time, so we could have bought here actually because the 13 hallmark had come in, and then we would have held until maybe we reach this area. I don't know how long this can take. So you see that price made that huge jump at around 11. That was during a new session. So anyone who could have got this entry would have been in the safe side. But for me, I'm just a kind of guy who loves holding price until which it disproves my consent. Okay, see that above this level price is bullish. We have the indication. We can wait for the continuation by price going above that level one more time. If price comes and clears us out at this level over here, I'll take out. So this is my stop loss because that was an area of great support. So let's wait a bit and see. Okay, so price made a new lower low in the market. We are a bit aggressive here because price gave us the indication for sales. The only thing that I miss in this market is just the session timing. If I had the session timing, my bro, I wouldn't be getting these big step outs. So we are back again. Let's remove all these past indicators. Here we shall buy, because why not buy? Okay, and then we shall close at a stop loss of $11. Let me just remove most of this so that I can show you guys. The price is bullish. We had a bullish 15. Price has gone above the level. If you guys observe at 15, price went above the level of resistance over here, so that's why I took my buy. Stop loss could have been underneath this level, and then after session I would have closed out, but I'm the kind of guy that holds until we hit stop loss. Okay, we're underneath this level and price is showing us bearish structure. Okay, I don't think we would have held until that area. But anyways, the reason why I took that buy was simply because that sell anyways was simply because price had gone was showing me signs that wanted to go underneath that area, so that's why I took myself, but we got stopped out. So we shall look for other entries. So I've made over 63k, but I'm expecting the price could potentially reach this area over here. Okay, so let's wait and see. Okay, so you see that after some time price eventually sold off, but it would have taken us huge amounts of waiting. The reason I sold was simply because this was the area where we saw the first initial buyers take most of their positions. That's why I was holding until price reached that area. So you can close maybe like one position. For this one, the TP is gonna be here where we saw buyers come into the market. Stop loss, I'll just give it a break even there. Okay, so I think we got stopped out a bit, but you have made over 67. You see the win rate is 40%, but we're able to hold price from there all the way down here, so I think we are good. Remember how it's called a taxi. So underneath this area, price is what? Bearish. Underneath that area, price is bearish. So if I take my buy here, stop loss is gonna be underneath this area, and then the TP is gonna be above. So we got the TP hit, and then after some time, price made this huge jump. But since price is bullish, well, where would I take my buys? I would simply wait for price to come above this area over here. The first area that I see is here over here, so if price goes above that area, that's an indication. So that's the indication move, and then after some time price sold and then came above the level. So here would have been my buy, but I can't take entries, so you can easily get stopped out. Okay, so that price actually eventually moved out, but as I've shown you guys, here would have been my entry. I would have entered from around here. Okay, the second time that price broke out, that would have been my entry, and then I would have held price and see if it made me higher highs, and then I'll close. Of course, I won't hold for long because most of these entries, they are flawed. I have so many factors which I'm not considering here, and they can affect my overall win rate. So you see that above this area of support, price is bullish. Okay, so here we shall buy. Stop loss will be underneath this low, and then we shall be buying until we reach that area above. So after some time, we see that price eventually comes and takes us out. Okay, it takes us out, and we get the TP hit, but it would have been some huge waiting. That would have been some huge waiting. Okay, so we see another area over here. This is another good area, so a level of resistance here, and price took it out. That was the indication move, ndakukyusa ofumba kanje. You see that price is bullish, but it's failing to break above. If you guys observe, now this is one of the patterns that you can always use to your favor. Price made a new higher high, but it's failing. It's giving these wicked candles. That means it's looking for some more liquidity in the market, so it can be in form of a fair value gap. So this area over here, we saw some bit of liquidity here, so price could sell all the way down there. So because of that, I'll close and then I'll wait for selling momentum. We see that above underneath this area, price was bullish, but we had a candle close underneath the area. So I'll wait for price to come under, then I'll sell. But for now, above this area, price is bullish. So yeah, we had the indication move for wait, and then after some time price changes structure, so we shall buy here, TP at the top, and let's wait. Get the second tap, so I'll sell here, stop loss and above. Okay, price is resisting a bit, but we shall deal with that. Also, here is another area of great interest. So price came above the level. I don't know if the session is right, but I would buy until we reach this area, the previous high. So price took us out. But if you observe, overall win rate was 80%. So we won 80% of the trades that we took. So that's something good to be proud of. But let's go again for the M15. The reason I'm doing this is that so you guys can understand the whole mechanics behind ICC. Because if I was to make like small ass videos, most of you wouldn't get the point. So over here with another area of support. So over here we have another area of support. Underneath, this is an area of support, and above we have another area of what? Resistance. So buyers came in from this area, so they're aiming to, and they pushed price all the way up there. So what does that mean? Anything underneath that area will be good for sales, because we have seen that underneath that level there are no more buyers. But we see that so far price is becoming what? Bullish. We are forming higher highs and higher lows. I'll buy. TP is gonna be at that area, and we shall wait and see how price goes. So it got stopped out, which is okay, but also price gave us the first indication for sales by going underneath this level of support. So we shall sell. TP, I don't know up to where, but let's wait. Okay, so you see that eventually price sells, but now the reason why I entered sales here, some of you guys may be confused, be like, oh Kevin, why do you enter sales here? For those ones, even more clear entries, this is an area of support. Don't just look at an area and think that it doesn't matter. No, it matters, because once price sold, it came underneath this area of support and then pushed all the way down. Okay, that was the first indication. The second one is that we know that underneath this area also price was bullish. It pushed price, it was selling previously, and then we had a push of price up to the top. So let me just show you. So if you guys observe this area, this was an area of what? This was an area of great, just use green. Okay, so this was an area of great support. Price was selling initially, and then what happened? From this area we had another push to the upside. So this is a great area of support. Once we broke underneath this area, that was the first indication. So where did you get the indication? Once price came and broke underneath, that was the first indication. So the second time that price came underneath our area, would have sold. Stop loss could have been just above this level. So you guys can observe, this was the stop loss. Okay, so this was the SL, and then TP you can aim for anything, but I usually love to hold, especially if it's during the New York session. So yeah, that's it. So that's why I took that position, for those of you guys who had questions. And then also from the high time frame, you see that this was an area of resistance in the market until price broke through the area. So anything underneath this, anything above this area is going to be good for buys. So all we have to do is wait. I'll close and then hold two positions. Okay, price is now shifting structure. You know that above this level of resistance, price is bullish, so just wait a bit. I'll buy here, stop loss will be underneath, and then we shall hold and see how far price goes. So you see that price is pushing up. Okay, as you guys know, I don't usually want to like elongate most of my thought process, but let me just show you again why I took my buys there. Okay, so I'll just take a screenshot maybe from, yeah, let me just take that screenshot. So what do you observe? This is also another area of resistance. We see that price was buying, and then when it reached this area, okay, we had a sell. So that means that there are sellers situated above that area. Okay, so this becomes an area of resistance. So the second time price came, we had a breakout of this area. So this was the indication. Remember, it's like this. Okay, we have a breakout from the area of support or resistance, giving us the indication move. Then we have a correction move, and then afterwards price comes above this area. This is where you enter in your entries. For this time, for this case, we are buying here, and then we just hold price and see where it can, how far it can go, and the stop loss we minimize it by going underneath the previous area of support. Simple as that. So I'll just remove all this, then go back a bit. Okay, so you see that this is the same thing. We have the indication was here, it was made here, and then afterwards we had the correction, and then price came above this same area the second time. So this is where I took my entries, and then I was aiming not as far, but you can aim for these previous highs. Simple as that. So that's why I took my buys there, and we see that so far we have made over 96k on that trade. So if you know that buyers entered in from this area, why would you hesitate to hold your trades for long? Why not hold your trades? And also after some time, you see that price eventually breaks out of this area of resistance. This was a strong area of resistance. So we have the indication in the market that above that area, price is what? Bullish. Now what happens is that after some time, price instead comes and breaks this area of support. This is also another area of support. Most of you guys ignore these areas because you think they are so small. No, my friend. This is an area of support. We have the indication, but what is the overall picture? The overall picture is that price is what? Bullish. So once the overall picture says that price is bullish, where would you want to sell? You want to sell after price breaks underneath this area of support the second time, because we saw that this was an area of support before, and once price broke through this area of support, what do we have? We had sales. So if you are to sell, you want price to go underneath this area of support. That's when you can take your sales. It's not like you can't take sales above. It's just that it's low probability. But once you sell underneath a level which is of great significance, it's high probability. So that's what we mean by this. Okay, so after some time we say a price buys, then it sells, then buys, then we come underneath this area the second time. So most of you guys who had small accounts would have sold here. Stop loss would have been just above there, and then yeah, would have held until we reached P, but it could have been, as again I showed you guys that this also is a level of support. Don't say that this isn't a level of support just simply because it's small. No, it's a level of support. Okay, because price was buying, we had the buys here. What happened is that price came and broke through. That was the indication move. We had a correction by price going and grabbing as much liquidity as it had, and then we had the continuation by price going about underneath a level the second time. I didn't hold for long because the overall picture is bullish, and I don't usually like to hold against the overall trend. That's why I simply just closed out. So yeah, that's how I made this. Win rate, as you can see, is over 90. Okay, we have a 90% win rate, but this isn't something that you should brag about. You can practice this as much as you can so that you can get in knowledge with the concepts themselves. Okay, yeah. So we shall go for just one more. So just one more, shall move all this. So So you see that price is bullish. Okay, why is price bullish? Because we're making higher levels of support. As simple as that. That's why price is bullish. Okay? Above that area, price is gonna be what? Above that area, price is gonna be bullish. So here we shall wait. Okay, so price is selling underneath the level. I'll sell here. Stop loss is gonna be just above this area here. Price is crazy. My stop loss is gonna be just minimal here. That's where I put my stop loss, because we know that if price goes above that area, we may have a potential for price to push even higher. So I don't even have to hesitate, because this is another area of support in the market, okay, of resistance. So if price goes above that area, we already have the indication. We wait for price to come above, then we buy. Okay, it's okay. Okay, and then after some time, price does indeed come above the level. So I'll buy here, maximum lots. Stop loss is gonna be underneath, and then I'll be aiming for these highs over here. So we see this area over there. This is a good zone to take my buys to, okay. And we see that so far price is selling. I'll close out like up to one position. Stop loss, I'll just put it at this candle, and then the TP is gonna be at this area. So let's wait. Okay, I'll put my stop loss just there. Okay, we got stopped out. It's okay. But again, the win rate for this is 60%. Although our mistake was that we sold a little bit too early. And also we're considering old data. By old data, I was considering more to the left, but you know, you don't have to consider old data a lot. So yeah.